Testing 1, 2, Wolfpack. How y'all doing? Radio announcer voice for the win. Yes. Monday. Ooh, man, Monday's in the house. What is up? Okay, all right. Hello, my name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Ooh, man, all right, okay. News. For people who can't stand the news. What's up, Johnsons? What's up, Wolfpack? Yeah, here we are. We made it anyway. Looking good on the dials, looking good on the programs and stuff. I'm liking this. This is magic. Let's make that happen. Yes. Let me go say hello to my people on YouTube. What's up, YouTube people? What is going on, Wolfpack? Tim Black's Wolfpack on YouTube. You made it. You're making it. Christine's in the house. Gary's in the house. Belinda's in the house. Sirius. Yeah, I've been calling you Sirius. Sirius 76. 1976. Kelly M is in the house. Murray Warren. Trudy is in the house. What's up, Ireno? Hail Kite. Mike, what's up? Hail Kite. When Colin took a knee, that's disrespectful to the troops. But when they disrespect troops, nothing to see here. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Hellkite's pointing out the hypocrisy of our conservatives, so-called patriots. Don't disrespect my flag. David Melford in the house. What's up, bro? Gator Man dude. Murray Warren, what's up, woman? Oh, Wendy, zom. I think we'll allow that, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew said, Wolfpack in the house, biatches. I'll take that. Yeah, we clap at that. So we got it going on, Carmen Schwa. Jasmine here, what up? What is going on? We Curry Signs is in the house. Thank you, We Curry Signs, getting us rolling. I feel you. No more Fuego. No more Fuego and Kara Thomas. In my haste to run to the restroom Friday. That's the way to start it, right? In my haste to run to the restroom Friday, I missed a couple of super chats. So, not to be the kind to get a super chat and run, Johnson. Wouldn't want to be that guy, right? How he just gonna eat and not pay the bill? Rush him. Super chats from Gary Brown. The super rich are ruining the country. Their names need to be curses from our mouths. Oh, no. Super rich bastards. We need to get them. I concur. I did not skip your question on purpose. Eat the rich. The super rich. You know, super rich. Super chat message from Tyler Fav. We love you, Tim. Thank you for educating me on the trial. Well, Tyler Fav, you are welcome. You're welcome, brother. Thank you for respecting and giving props to this arduous task. It ain't easy. Super chat message from T-Bone. Great show, hard to watch. That's the story of my life, Johnson. Thank you, T-Bone. Once again, guys, sometimes it happens. My apologies. But thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your comments. Every little bit helps. And every comment helps. Facebook, what's up, Facebook? How y'all doing, man? What's going on? You okay over there, Dolores, Mike, Junius, Adam, Julie, Linda in the house? What up, y'all? What's going on? What's up, Facebook? What it be? You know, what is the goings on? Everybody okay? All right. Teresa, Dwayne, Dale, Elaine. Got a couple of Elaines. Okay. Oh, we got a Dwayne and an Elaine. Elaine. From Seattle in the joint. Or was that St. Louis? St. Louis. That's St. Louis. STL St. Louis. What up, St. Louis? How's it going? Gladys Little's in the house. Yeah. We got the people in the house rocking with us on Facebook, y'all. What's going on? Zuckerberg does me wrong, but my Facebook peeps, my Wolfpack on Facebook, they do me all right. So thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me going, man. So, people are we sharing it? Can I get some likes on YouTube and some shares on Facebook? Can y'all do that for me, man? Could you work with a brother? Could you put a little zing in it for me? Could you? Let's do it, guys, because we know we got to make the algorithm work for us. Shout out to True South. Yeah. So, this is what I have. This is what it is, okay? Okay, today we got a couple of stories, 3 stories to be exact. And then we have an update on George Floyd. Update on George Floyd is going to be the last thing we do because it takes the most time. So I can zip in with some updates on news stories and then zip in with the George Floyd. After. Follow up. Man, what is going on with the left? I said, what is going on with the left, man? I don't get it, man. Is there a left? It's almost like we have no left. All the left. I mean, I'm hearing rumblings that the squad that fell in stock, lock, stock, and barrel with the establishment. Assimilation complete. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing, man. And you know me, man. I'm an optimist. I'm an eternal optimist. I get shitted on for it. Because some people are eternal pessimists. And that's sort of the way the world's leaning, you know. I hate everybody. Then when I say, hey, what about those cops shooting people in the ass? You need to just have hope, Tim. Oh, okay. What about cops killing our kids in the street? Shooting down black people? Just have hope. Calm down. Be on the safe side. Hey, man, give AOC a benefit of the doubt, man. Let's see what she does. Oh, shut up. You sellout. You scumbag. You kissing ass. Huh? What? Be one way. Guess I should be one way too, huh? So we all have our different issues. Look, man, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing, guys. I didn't cover this story. I don't know if I'm going to cover it, but I am going to mention it because I'm pretty sure you guys watch other channels. If you don't, maybe you do. I don't know. Okay, so there's this guy who put out a video. He didn't make the video. The video was on Twitter. He put it out. AOC having a conversation about with a guy from an organization, something related to Jewish community in New York or something, where she has a large constituency. Like, if you don't do well with the Jewish community in New York, particularly in her area, you probably don't get reelected. We do know that, right? Like, no one's under any delusions that you could get that challengers to her would feast on that, right? So we do know that exists. We do know there's more to politics than just being right. You got to win that shit. We know that, right? That being said, some things, it's just so far you could go to win. Like, you can't just, here's my soul. You're not supposed to just be like, give him up. You're not supposed to hear my soul. Would you like ketchup or hot sauce? Would you like a beer to go with that soul of mine I just gave? No, man. So I understand you have to thread the needle sometimes a little bit, and you have to give a nod and hey, look, I understand you got valid considerations. But here's where I come out. Respectfully. And you say your shit. But what I read and saw, what I heard, forget my interpretation of words on a printed page. Because I went with that before. Oh no, Tim, you read the wrong article. Well, it was windy with a bunch of words. It was word salad of the Amy Klobuchar variety, of the Kamala Harris variety. It was really a mess. No, Tim, you can't get it wrong. Don't get it. Okay, so this time I didn't have to read it, and I didn't get it from a different article. I listened. And I could tell when somebody's feeding me a bunch of bullshit, man. Yeah, this ain't about picking teams or I don't like this person or that person or any. This is just about the content at hand. Guys, have you heard this? I don't have it with me right now. Listen, seriously, I do not have it with me. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. AOC, what is going on, man? I mean, for real. This is when the people come get you and take you outside. Be like, look, man, we need to talk, man. You ever had good friends like that? You really screw up. They're like, hey, man, we need to talk, man. It's time for an intervention. Where's the intervention at, y'all? What's it? Where is it? Look, man, I try. Look, man, I'm a fatherly type of dude. I try to lead by example. I try to encourage people. I try to be helpful. But damn it, hey, the word salad in this, the lack of backbone, the lack of focused response, a lack of standing for anything that you claim to believe was absent. And it's got me worried. And I'm not just worried on that, for this instance. This is conversation. This is the way someone feels about an issue, Palestine and Israel, and in a generic, like in a conversational type of situation, not on a vote, not on actual policy that's being acted, to my understanding, but just having that conversation. That's one thing. That's hard. That's bad enough. But then the fact that we're starting to feel like we're losing the thread. We're stitching into it. Oh shit, where's the thread? We start doing that. It's like we don't know who you are. And look, I've been resisting this for months because people have been, actually for about a year and a half, there have been people that who have DM'd me for over at least 2 years. She's not what you think she is. She's not what you think she is. Seriously, guys. And I never did a lot of content on it anyway, because I had my reservations based on credible sources that kept telling me she's not what you think she is. And some of the people that have given me this information don't like anybody. Like, there's nobody that they didn't shit on, like, totally. Except Republicans. I was like, hold on a second. I gotta because see, I always had these people in my ear, guys. I always had these people in my ear, and I never know what their intentions are fully, because everybody has their own biases. I have some people that say they're not Republican or Democrat or independent, and all they ever do, like, they never talked about Trump in a negative way. They never talk about Republicans at all. Everything is Democrats, and I get that to a certain degree. But then it gets almost like, I mean, everybody gets roasted. Everybody's full of shit, so why cover politics? Why do this? What are you doing? I don't know. And I agree that everybody's political is pretty much playing a political game somewhat. That's why it's called politics. Activists don't like that. Back to my point. The thing is, there were people telling me this for a couple of years, man. This shit ain't new. It's not new. It just became popular to criticize it, to get views. But this conversation's been happening for quietly amongst at least my circle for a long time. So the point is this, and this is it. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to be looking further into the AOC situation. I'm also going to be looking at other members of the squad. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing my best to report critically on it. I want you to know I want you to know I'm going to be doing it with a bias of trying to find redeemable qualities. But as of right now, what was 70-30, it done slipped into 60-40 terrain. Okay? And it's getting bad. I won't defend it. So, Tim Black's Wolfpack, I want you to brace yourself for this, okay? Because I don't want people getting whiplash. Like, oh, Tim, I thought, no. I don't suffer bullshit very well. You know what I'm saying? And to be authentic with you guys, I can't pretend. I hope. So, you know, AOC did not defend Palestinians at all. And she made it seem like Israel and Palestinians, the issues are equal, and they both just have a disagreement over who gets the big piece of chicken. And got into like Bill Clinton territory of, well, it all depends on what the word it is, what the definition of it is. I've reached out to her camp for comment. Nothing. So, I don't matter. So, well, I guess it don't matter what I say. Guess it don't matter if I gotta go hard in the paint. Do it. Because it don't matter when I reach out to get clarification. Independent media is not worthy of responding to in any fashion. I mean, other people responded. I remember I had an issue with Keith Ellison. He responded. Ro Connors responded. Marianne Williamson responded. Andrew Yang responded. I mean, not really above being asked a question. Privately. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's above being asked a question, you know? As of right now, guys, I want you to know Nina Turner is my last hope as it stands right now. I like Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush, but I'm talking about I feel strongly that Nina Turner's the last right now. On if I put it all in on the same plane, I say Nina Turner I think has the ability to lead the left and pick up the mantle where Bernie has positioned it. To take the baton and run it the next however long. And that's where I'm at on that. I know there's some people who don't get that, what I'm saying. She hasn't been elected, so it's kind of hard for you to say what she won't do. She hasn't been elected. Okay, damn it, I'm taking too long. This is it. That's it. I'm going to follow up on the AOC controversy at some point. It's kind of late in the news cycle now to kind of cover it. I just want to give you an overview in case you missed it, give my opinion on it because, I guess you kind of care because you're here, right? And we'll go on with the news. All right, guys, let's do this. You ready? Let's start with the worst thing, okay? This 20-year-old boy, damn, I started off wrong to begin with. 20-year-old young man shot and killed very close to Minneapolis, Minnesota today. Horrific events that took place. I covered it. Well, I talked about it on Twitter. Let me bring you up to speed in case you missed it. Here we go.
New body camera video showing the moment a Minnesota officer fatally shot 20-year-old Dante Wright.
I just shot him.
Police say the female officer, a veteran on the force, accidentally discharged a gun instead of a taser, killing the father of a 2-year-old.
It is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet. This was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
The incident beginning just before 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon when authorities say Wright was pulled over for an expired vehicle registration outside of Minneapolis. Wright's girlfriend also in the car. According to the Brooklyn Center Police Department, the officers ran Wright's name through their system, discovering there was a warrant out for his arrest. Court records show that warrant was issued after Wright failed to appear in court earlier this month, following charges of possessing a firearm without a permit and running away from law enforcement. Police say on Sunday, Wright was trying to get back into the vehicle as officers attempted to apprehend him. The officer warning, "I'll tase ya." Then she pulls a firearm, firing a shot at Wright.
I just shot him.
The car driving for several blocks before crashing into another vehicle. Wright was pronounced dead at the scene, the medical examiner identifying Wright's cause of death as a gunshot wound to the chest. Tonight, the officer who pulled the trigger is on administrative leave, pending an independent investigation.
We cannot afford to make mistakes that lead to the loss of life, and so I do fully support releasing the officer of her duties.
Oh my God. Overnight, protests erupting. Tensions already high in the city with the trial of Derek Chauvin just 10 miles away.
Our hearts are aching right now. We are in pain right now. And we recognize that this couldn't have happened at a worse time.
President Biden weighing in.
We do know that the anger, pain, and trauma that exists in the black community in that environment is real. It's serious and it's consequential. We should listen to Dante's mom, who is calling for peace and calm.
Dante's mother, heartbroken.
I don't want all of this. I just want my baby home. That's all I want, is I want him to be home. I don't want everybody out here chanting and screaming and yelling. I just want him home.
And Stephanie Ramos with us tonight from Brooklyn Center outside Minneapolis. And
Officer Kim Podd is a 26-year-old veteran of the Brooklyn Center for Center Police Department. She's the one who sent the fatal shot into the chest of Dante Wright. Demonstrations have been taking place ever since this occurred. There has been a deployment of National Guard to the area. And we know that there was already a National Guard presence in Minneapolis or in Minnesota due to the events with Derek Chauvin. And here's the thing, guys. When I guess that's the mayor said there couldn't have been a worse time, that's the only thing with him that I agree about is that there could have been a worse time. I mean, how tone deaf can you be? Do you even know that there's music playing? That's my question. I mean, if you don't know, maybe we get this guy at his house. You know, maybe that's what we do because this ain't worth it. I'm having a hard time understanding how you how you pick the wrong gun. My understanding is they're on opposite sides of your body, and if you've been trained, it's like muscle reflex. It's like you know which one to go to. Is it possible somebody just forgot? I mean, I think about Oscar Grant. Remember Oscar Grant was shot point blank range by a cop who said the same thing. Oh, I meant to grab the taser when I shot the kid right here in front of me. So, I mean, I just find it difficult to swallow this entire thing, and I think most others agree as well. I mean, once again, let me state this because let me clear this up as well. What Dante Wright did was wrong, okay? Because, okay, you don't do that. You don't get back in the car and try to leave. Just don't do that because they don't care about your life, man. They really don't care about your life. And we know that, evidenced by the fact they killed him. And some people, but what I don't like is some people don't understand why people run from cops. Because they know you don't care about their life. Get what I'm saying? I know I'm not supposed to read comments other than my wolf pack. I'm not supposed to focus on the people that, that just make incendiary comments to piss people off, but if I just keep hearing the same thing. The worst thing you could do is run from a cop. No, the worst thing you could do is get fucked with by cops. Because you don't know what that's going to mean for your life. And Tamir Rice didn't run. George Floyd didn't run. Breonna Taylor didn't run. We could keep going on with who didn't run. Philando Castile didn't run. There's a lot of people I can name to you who didn't run. Do you understand at all the toll it takes psychologically being a black person, particularly a black male in America, when all you see is black people getting shot, black men particularly, getting shot by cops? You would not know what that's like. No one knows what that's like. You don't know what it's like to be a black man in America and always have this running tape of you getting shot. Like, everybody knows they can be shot or that bad things can happen, but when you're a black man, it's like, you really know it. You know it like the back of your hand. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that. I got that when I did this, and when I was playing on the tree back when I was 16, or I remember that, and I remember this. Like, that's how well you know that you can be killed by cops if you're a black man, because it happens so often, there's no escaping it. So, I don't agree with what he did, but remember, we're also operating in a world where some people don't understand the fear of cops that people have. I don't know why you don't get that. We're covering the Derek Chauvin trial right now. You don't think people have a reason to be afraid of cops? Maybe some people don't. So anyway, this lady. Now let me give you a little bit of a background, because what we know about this young man Dante is that he had a open warrant for missing a court date about an unlicensed firearm. Okay, and which was originally told he was pulled over for air fresheners. Turns out he was pulled over because of expired tag. So, at least that's what they report. Take with that what do with that as you will. So that's what we know about Dante, 20 years old, baby, a 1-year-old child, loved by his family, loved by his mom, minor record, misdemeanors. Minneapolis record, 2 petty misdemeanor charges filed against him for marijuana and disorderly conduct. Supposed to go to court in the summer. That's it. And missed the court date. So, not good. But you also know what's not good? Killing him. That's what's not good. Killing Daunte Wright is not good. Taking away his hopes, his dreams, his ambitions, his thoughts, his family's hopes, dreams, ambitions for him. All not good. Now, one of those things that weren't good were redeemable or fixable. Okay? Very few of us sitting here today are the same people that we were when we were 20. Right? Hopefully, hell, a person's brain isn't even fully developed till you're like 21, 22. It's still building. He's 20 years old. How stupid were you at 20? Don't answer that. Some people are still stupid now. Anyway. Since we always get to hear all the bad shit about the victim, let me share with you a little bit of the bad stuff about the cop. Okay, this particular cop, Miss Kim Potter, she allegedly attempted to conceal evidence after a police shooting that left a 20-year-old autistic man dead. Officer Potter instructed officers Turner and Akers to exit the residence, get into separate squad cars, turn off their body cameras, and don't talk to each other. But no charges were filed in the case. Sounds like somebody was trying to protect somebody's ass. That's it. I don't know. Do with that as you will. Does that mean she's a cop that might lie about what happened today? Because it's all about what she intended to do, right? It's all about what was in her brain at the time. You see that, was it, captain? Fall right in line with her. Hey, well, I believe she didn't mean to do it. And you know, just like I said, there's some things you can be sorry about. My bad. And there's some things you can't just my bad. What Daunte Wright had done up to this point in his life could have been a my bad moment. My bad. Man, I was so stupid when I was 19. Can't believe I was that dumb, man. And I made these dumb choices. You know, my bad. But what Miss Potter did to Mr. Wright, that's not a my bad. Point blank shot an unarmed 20-year-old in the chest. And now that the community's angry as hell, already on edge, angry as hell, now bring out the National Guard, shoot rubber bullets, pepper spray, tear gas, whatever the hell, right? That's what we do now. That's the response to it. We really understand how upset you are and as frustrating this is that we keep killing you, but you're going to have to sit down I'm going to have to keep shooting you in the ass because that's what we do. Because we got to protect this property and we can't have you being upset about us killing you. You need to just take that and walk it off and wait to see what happens in the trials. Because we get to do that sometime. We get to kill y'all. And no, you won't know who it's going to be next. And no, you ain't got to run. And yeah, you could even be handcuffed. Or you could run and still die, or you could be handcuffed and die. You could beg for your life, or you could be 20 years old with no serious charges with an expired tag. There were other Minnesota cases too. So anyway, there we go, guys. I feel like this is turning into the cop show. All right, well, I will update you to this story. My condolences to the family of Daunte Wright. It's so horrible. Could feel that mother's pain. through the video, you know, just her voice. You know, as a parent of a young man, I often worry about him. I worry about where he goes. I worry about who he's with. I worry if I taught him everything he needs to know that he can be safe. And at the end of the day, no matter what you teach a child, as they become young men, they have to go out and apply it. And then it all depends, it all comes down to, no matter what you taught them, it's what that person thinks of them when they see them. You know, like what their predisposition is. My son's never been in trouble, but they don't know that. They don't do background checks on you before they shoot you. You know, it's no civility test. It's no content of the character test. Tell people they're playing the race card. You Tucker Carlson watching assholes are not black parents. I worry about him every night. And I have reason to. All right, guys. Next on the docket. Next on the docket is, this is just, it don't get big. It jump out the frying pan into the pot. Is that what it is? Can't you treat all people the same? At least try to treat them all the same. Because when I saw what happened in Virginia with this Lieutenant Nazario, I'm sitting there dumbfounded, man. Have you guys seen this? Have you seen it? I can't believe that this punk-ass cop felt it was okay to totally demean this grown-ass man in his uniform, military uniform, over a license plate that was there, that he said he didn't see, and threaten him and pull guns on him. Anyway, this is horrible as well. Here goes that footage. Well, a little bit. And now, Mr. Nazario, Lieutenant Nazario is going to sue him, and he should sue him. But here's the whole story and brings you up to date.
Public outrage is mounting over this traffic stop.
Open the door.
Captured from several angles as police draw their weapons.
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Two officers stopping U.S. Army Lieutenant Karan Nazario for not having a rear license plate on his new SUV, according to a police report, which also notes they later saw a temporary tag inside, taped to the tinted window.
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated?
Yo, what? Guess what? I'm a veteran too. I'm gonna obey.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I ask you what's going on?
About a minute later, Officer Joe Gutierrez, whose termination was announced late Sunday, pepper sprays Nazario.
Get out of the car now.
That's
Out of the car now.
I'm trying to breathe. Ugh.
Gutierrez and his former partner Daniel Crocker now facing a $1 million lawsuit, alleging a violation of constitutional rights. Nazario, who is black and Latino, says it was due to racial profiling.
Take off your seatbelt and get out of the car.
Look, I'm just gonna please.
You're gonna do what you're told.
The lawsuit filed earlier this month also claims police threatened to end Nazario's military career if he spoke out about the incident.
My client wants to prevent those two officers from doing it to anyone else.
Tonight, the town of Windsor, Virginia, describing the events as unfortunate, as Virginia's governor calls for an independent investigation. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, Washington.
Wow. I've seen white military personnel act a whole lot more offended at traffic stops and get treated a whole lot better than that shit. I know that. I know that. That I know for sure. Okay, Joe Gutierrez, asshole. I feel like firing him is not enough, though. Yeah, firing him is even too good. Keep him, but punish him and punish him and punish him some more. I don't feel like, I just feel like firing him is just too easy for his fat ass. He needs more. Yeah, like maybe like some money out of his pocket. That's why I've been covering Indian qualified immunity on this show. That's why I've been covering it for months. That's why, because it's important. I see some other people are adopting that idea. But that's what we need to do, because we need to be able to go after cops, not just the state, but the freaking cops themselves who violate our constitutional rights. Nazario, Lieutenant Nazario was totally calm, collected, very reasonable, very measured, not erratic. There was no reason why he deserved that type of treatment. Not at all. Very calm, collected. I mean, he even said it. Look, I'm afraid to do that. He says, you should be. You should be afraid of me. Boy. He didn't say boy, but it sure sounded like he wanted to say boy. Maybe something else. And who was the lame fucking kid with him? Look, man. Named Crocker. Crocker don't need a badge. I said Crocker don't need a badge. Crocker need to go back to school. Crocker, look, I got two feelings about the deputy, whoever was with him, Daniel Crocker. One, I don't think he was totally on board with what Joe Gutierrez was doing, but he was too weak to stop it. He was too cowardly to do anything about it. So that makes you complicit. The fact that you weren't all in even makes it worse, because that means you didn't stand up. It's not good enough. If you'd have shot Mr. Nazario, you'd went right along with the bullshit. So I don't feel sorry for you, and I don't feel like you deserve less punishment. Because we all know if Joe would have got a little trigger happy and popped the shell into Mr. Nazario, you'd have went along with whatever the story was. Because you're a go-along, get-along asshole. You're not a leader. And you need leaders out there. You don't need cowardly boys. And yeah, I'm going to call you a cowardly boy because you disagree with him and didn't vocalize that. And men stand up, son. Men stand up. Whether right or wrong, they stand up. Don't agree with somebody with the shit somebody's got going on, with their top, whatever they're doing, you stand up. Sometimes it goes wrong. Believe me, I know. But you stand up. You didn't. You don't deserve anything other than the same punishment. They should fire your ass too. I don't want no weakest link working for me, protecting my son out there. You know, I've never lived that far from Virginia, man, but I've never once in my life even thought about moving to Virginia. And don't get me wrong, Maryland's not great. We got our good old boys. It just seems like more propensity of good old boys in Virginia who don't give a shit. Disrespectful. So we're suing. I heard it was only $1 million. Make it $10 million. Aim high, Lieutenant. Higher. One of my commenters made a golden statement at the onside of this show. She said in the comment section, I don't remember, it was a Johnson. I don't know if it was a man or woman, but it was a Johnson. Member of the Wolfpack. And they said, Interesting. So when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, you said he was disrespecting the troops. But when the cops disrespect the troops with guns pointed or something like that, no comment. Crickets. Once again, no consistency. Hypocrisy. Worst thing. Worst fucking thing in the world, hypocrisy, guys. Dante Wright, accidental discharge of weapon. Joe Gutierrez and Daniel Crocker, accidental appointment of bullshit officers as well. How about that? Negligent officers given jobs. Negligent application process. Negligent, don't give me training, because this guy's got a lot of training. You can't fix stupid, and you can't fix racist. They gotta fix themselves. Definitely can't fix stupid. You can't fix corrupt. You can punish it. And you can't fix murderers. They just learn that they're gonna go to jail forever the rest of their lives if they do it again. That's all you can do. I don't know if you fix a murderer. Maybe they fix themselves inside. Yeah, they gotta fix themselves. All right, guys, that's it. That's really, it's disgusting, man. I don't know what to say. Now, there's one bit of criticism I do have for Nazario, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it with all due respect. And I mean this with all due respect. My brother, Mr. Nazario, Lieutenant Nazario, only problem I have with what you said, bro, is when you said you can't believe this shit. No, brother, believe it. You're going to treat me like this when I'm on active duty? I can't believe this. No, believe that shit. Believe that. Same thing go for black officers. I can't believe. No, believe that. They're treating me like they treat regular black people. No, believe it. Believe that shit. Happens all the time. Sometimes they treat you worse because you think you're somebody. You think you don't deserve to get treated that way. Get what I'm saying? Nah, man. So that's it. That's just something I don't know. It just stuck with me when you said it. Like, and I don't mean it in a bad way, bro, because I could feel your pain and your hurt. You were hurt. That's what bothers me. You were hurt. That means you really think that these people should respect you. I mean, you're expecting respect. Like, it's a given. And I don't know where that comes from, because in America, oh, hell no. That means too much TV. It's too much movies. It's too many. I mean, I got officers shooting in the cars, man. Shooting in the cars of 20-year-olds when passengers are in the car. Don't give a shit. They don't. But I feel for you that you who volunteer, or you who are serving active military, believe that there should be more. You know what I'm saying? And I get that feeling. I used to be that way, so I started covering this shit. Then I realized there is no feeling, man. From when I covered Kelly Thomas, when they bashed his brains in back in like 2012, 2013, when I covered that, 2014, I forget when it was, when I covered the fact they bashed a man's brains in. They beat him almost unrecognizably because someone said somebody pulled a car door handle. When I saw that, and then I saw story after story after story after story after story, all that shit about, well, you know, we respect life and we look at people and say, hey, judge them by their character. I knew, man, because if they beating white guys unrecognizable and laughing about it. They beat Kelly Thomas till you didn't even know who he was anymore. You couldn't tell by looking at him. And then said, yeah, I tore his face apart. That's what they said. On body camera or dash cam. That was recorded. When I saw that, I said that was the enemy thinking these crazy thoughts of patriotism and nationalism and pride and people respect each other. And there's only a few bad apples. Nah, I saw that. Nah, brother. And the cops walked. And when they shot Tamir Rice, the cops walked. And that's when I knew, man. So I respect you, brother, and I hope you win this lawsuit. And I guess it goes without saying, you need to change your opinion about people respecting you. All right, next story, guys. I'm not going to go too far into this, but I do want to mention it because I'm concerned, guys. I've been seeing articles about Joe Biden and his immigration policy. And it's not so good. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is Biden's making the migration border surge worse. It's right to shun Trump's family separation brutality, but dumping other policies that kept migration in check is promoting a different different kind of humanitarian disaster. So I'm like, what is going on? What is I know I covered it before, where Biden's policy of letting the kids come in is, I guess that's what they're referring to. But the ACLU and other advocacy groups are fed up with Biden's continuing some of the controversial immigration practices used by Trump. Like some things that Trump did, Biden's still doing them. You just calling them different names and you just it's the same shit. So lawyers have been slowly walking negotiations with the ACLU, trying to get the group to hold off a lawsuit that could dismiss Title 42. Trump enacted the controversial policy in March, allowing officials to rapidly return people who illegally cross the border, including asylum seekers. Biden quietly continued in January, claiming it was necessary to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Yet the White House has also consistently publicly proclaimed its policy is to expel families, and officials have said they're working with Mexico to expand space for more migrant families, which ACLU lawyers have privately said is frustrating. Then Biden condemns Trump's Migrants Protection Protocols, MPP. Now, this sent a lot of asylum seekers back to Mexico while the U.S. goes through the process of trying to vet out their claims for asylum. Biden ran on ending MPP on day one. But he continues to do it. He continues to use this policy up to this day. Many are being returned to some of the same areas they've been sent under MPP. In a lot of ways, it's remained in Mexico by another name. So then I saw this, folks, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm just trying to get my head around it. Biden's wait in Mexico is worse than Trump's remain in Mexico. Okay? So I'm trying to understand what's up with this. So under the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy, that MPP we just talked about, immigrants who cross will return to Mexico to wait a hearing north of the border. So come back, we'll holler at you when we're ready to look at your case. But until then, peace. Good to know you. At a final hearing, after months of years after months or years living homeless in Tijuana, Juarez, or Matamoros, an immigrant judge could at least theoretically grant them asylum and entry into the U.S. Why don't we just tear down the damn Statue of Liberty? That's all. That's what some people don't get. America needs to stop saying we take asylum seekers if when people come here seeking asylum, you don't give it to them. That's all I'm saying. Like, what we talk about hypocrisy? Turns out these people are still sitting waiting for asylum processing or whatever. DHS is hardly accepting in any of those returned under remain in Mexico. The way the Mexico returnees are right now sitting with them in literally the same squalor that Biden denounced during this campaign. Biden insisted that he opposed making anyone wait for asylum in another country. Once again, this is about what Biden said he'd do. And yet, here's his DHS secretary announcing a worse version of the same idea. I just remember people putting out this notion of a lesser of two evils. Of Biden not being great or even good, but being, better. On what? I mean, seriously, on what? I mean, Dwayne Wright gets shot in the chest and Biden speaks, but he doesn't say shit. Why say anything if what you're going to say is, well, it's we need to take a look at stuff and, I think I'll defer to the mom who has no one and has no power at all. But, we really sad what's happening in here and Black people need to vote for us. It doesn't do anything. What's he better on? Okay. So look, we're going to be examining this issue with immigration. Once again, this is one of those issues, man. I don't want to just read from articles that I did not write and call it news. I hate doing that. I feel like I do that a lot. Because that's what it is. So what we're trying to do is bring on experts in these fields where I can ask some questions, they can talk about the story, I can ask some questions, and we can get to the bottom of it with a little bit more context than just what's being printed, because we don't trust everything that's being printed, right? Right? Until then, man, I do my best with what we have. What I'm saying is I don't see how Biden's doing a better job on immigration. I even heard he's keeping the wall in place, like he's going to do more wall work. What's the fucking difference? Well, we got one slave master, and he was horrible. We got another one, and he was horrible too, but they weren't different horribles. What you eat last night? Nothing. What you eating tonight? Nothing. But somehow tonight's nothing's better than last night's nothing because we had a glass of water with the nothing. I don't understand. I mean, technically it's better. All right, guys. You guys ready for George Floyd updates? This is day 11. We done put in so much work. Well, I mean us, me. But those who have sat through, become educated, become informed, who have listened to a number of breakdowns on the George Floyd trial, we've been through this together, man. I like to give it up to you. Because I know it ain't easy, Johnson. Believe that. It's not easy. I can tell you one positive out of this. Our brother Tim Black is really working on his health because this freaking trial is scary. All this talk about the heart, about cardiovascular diseases and arterial diseases, and you can't pretend not to know how dangerous your lifestyle can be. So I will say that's one thing about this case so far that's been very illuminating, is the Russian roulette style of the way our lifestyles. But you never know what's around the corner, and we never know. But covering this case has really put me in touch with a lot of issues of mortality that we have to deal with. And then on top of that, you add in horrible cops, and this could happen to anybody if they chose to do it to you. There's nothing George Floyd could have done to avoid this situation other than, I guess he could have gotten in a car and took his chances, but then when he said, hey, I'll get in the car, they were like, nah, dog, now you get to die because you didn't get in the car earlier. He's like, man, I'll get up. I'll get in the car, man. Please, let's get up. They were like, nah, no car now. Now we get to kill you we got like 8 more minutes. We want to kill you first. Then we'll put you in the ambulance, the ambo. All right, so let's get going. George Floyd Day 11 began with testimony from another state's witness, but actually it begins somewhere else. It begins with the defense arguing, hey, it's too much. You're making this look too bad up here. You're shitting on my case too much. It's going to be too hard for me to lie for my client if you keep this up. The prosecution's going too far, man. I can't stage a defense when you just keep bringing witnesses after credible witness after credible witness up here to pummel me. This is horrible. You think I'm playing, don't you? No, that's literally what happened in the first half an hour of the trial today. It was all about the defense pleading with the judge to end this. Please don't let her bring any more witnesses that shit on my client. Please don't bring any more witnesses that can attest to the heinous, actions of my client. We've had enough. It's been 5 guys that all said my client is horrible and these actions were unacceptable. Please, can we stop? I'm not playing, guys. So, the judge almost went with it. Well, it's like it's enough. You're right, it seems like they're all saying the same thing. Yeah, that's because the truth is the truth, man. Was the pot hot? Yeah, that pot's hot. Next guy, was the pot hot? Yeah, the pot's hot. Was the pot hot? What are they supposed to say? Make up shit? We're supposed to pretend the pot's cold? No, the pot was hot. So they're going to say the same thing. Judge Cahill, scumbag defense attorney Nelson. Of course they're going to say the same thing because they all agreed to the same, they saw the same evidence. You're supposed to make up evidence? And the prosecutor, he said, look, I got different states' witnesses, credible states' witnesses, coming from different walks of life because you don't want people dismissing any of the witnesses. One juror might think this witness is too old, or this witness is a clinician, or this witness is too personal, or this. So you have to have a different array of witnesses in order to make sure all jury members appreciate the witness testimony and accept it as credible. Makes sense to me. Makes so much sense. I wish I would have thought of it because that's exactly what you need. Some people need it sang in a different tone. So today's first witness is not this person. I got so many days up here. 9th day, 10th day. It's another day. How many days you gonna have, Tim Black? Got it. This is a bunch of research, man. First witness, Jonathan Rich. Now, Jonathan Rich was the medical cardiologist from Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. He's also associated professor at Northwestern University. He talks about evidence. There was no evidence of George Floyd having a heart attack. None. No evidence at all that George Floyd had a heart attack. You hear me? Right, Twitter? There was no evidence at all that George Floyd had a heart attack. Your heart can stop without it being due to a heart attack. People who drown don't die because they had a heart attack, though their heart stops beating. Seems basic, but it doesn't, it's for some reason, not basic enough. He had drugs in his system. Oh, he had drugs in his system. Oh, he did. Doesn't mean that's what stopped his heart. Right now, you probably have a pound of chili cheese fries in your system. Doesn't mean that's what stops your heart if your heart stops tonight. All right, here goes that clip, guys. Let's go.
Heart attack.
No, none whatsoever.
Dr. Rich, did you see any evidence at all that George Floyd had had a heart attack?
No, none whatsoever.
What about this notion of something called a silent heart attack?
A silent heart attack. Well, so a silent heart attack, a silent heart attack is sometimes referred if it looks like someone might have had a heart attack, but there were no clinical signs to suggest it. It's a relatively uncommon finding. It tends to happen in patients who have diabetes, because when you have diabetes, one of the problems with diabetes is you lose some sensation in the nerve endings. And so typically when you're having a heart attack, you'll see people clutch their chest. Oh my God, I'm having chest pressure, chest pain. Sometimes diabetics won't have that, and it's possible that they can have a silent heart attack. But there was no evidence that Mr. Floyd had any type of heart attack, a silent heart attack or a non-silent heart attack.
Okay, Johnson. It was almost like he just wanted to, almost like Dr. Rich just wanted to say, isn't it? What about silent heart attack? Who makes up this shit? It's like, no, that's not it, man. He didn't have a heart attack. He didn't have a silent heart attack. He didn't have a quiet heart attack. He didn't have a whisper heart attack or heart attack that played in surround sound. He didn't have a fucking heart attack. Okay? I went to this Cuomo School of Cardiology. Dr. Rich goes on to talk about the evidence of no evidence of any type of sudden cardio event or cardiac event.
Mr. Floyd, yes, he did. That could have been a VF arrest. So sometimes there's semantics in terms of this, but in the case of Mr. Floyd, yes, he did have a cardiopulmonary arrest, but no, he did not. There was no evidence of a sudden cardiac death from VFib or any other malignant heart arrhythmia.
Okay, so
there it is. Oh, no, damn it. Damn, I want to be like Tim Black and just tell y'all to go screw off. No, he didn't die from any of this shit. No sudden cardiac event, no heart attack, nothing to do with his heart, none of that. It's because he couldn't get air into his heart. His heart would have kept pumping. In fact, he'd be alive today if it weren't for that man over there. I say kill him. He didn't go that far in this statement, but he did what he did say was devastating. Because he talked about what could have been done to save George Floyd's life. Yeah.
Resources these days into community education and training for bystander CPR because it's so effective and it works if the person can be tended to quickly enough.
Then from your review of the video, where you could see Mr. Floyd and Mr. Chauvin there on the ground, if Mr. Chauvin knew CPR, did you see any reason from your observation that he could not have supplied CPR?
Not within the opinion, medical opinion, so that is sustained.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Sustained.
All right.
It's not a medical opinion, counsel.
So at the time then that Mr. Floyd was actually put into the ambulance from the scene, in your opinion as a cardiologist, what would have been the prospects of resuscitating him at that point?
Overruled. You may give an opinion if you have one.
So at that point, I think the chance of meaningful survival, unfortunately, was very low because I counted the number of minutes that he was on the ground, pulseless, without any CPR. And by the time the paramedics rushed in to get him and to get him onto the stretcher into the back of the ambulance, at that point, a lot of time had passed. I give tremendous credit to the efforts of the paramedics and the doctors and nurses in the emergency room. I mean, they worked on him for what seemed...
Sustained. This is non-responsive.
Dr. Rich, do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to whether Mr. Floyd would have lived if not for the 9 minutes and 29 seconds of subdual and restraint?
Objection.
Overruled if you have an opinion.
Let me finish my question for you, Dr. Rich. Do you have an opinion as to whether George Floyd would have lived if not for Mr. Chauvin's subdual and restraint of him for 9 minutes and 29 seconds on the ground?
Yeah.
Overruled. A reasonable degree of medical certainty.
Yes, I believe he would have lived.
That's when you just walk off the court because game over. Game should be over right there, right? I mean, medical doctor from Chicago, professor at Northwestern University, cardiologist, looked at everything, autopsy results, all the footage, all the files, determines, yeah, George Floyd, he'd have been okay if it wasn't for Derek Chauvin and the other officers with this subdual restraint for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. He'd still been here. He had drugs in his system, but people who do drugs tend to have that in their system. Every person who's killed who does drugs will have drugs in their system. It does not mean drugs killed them. That's just something dumb people say who don't want cops to go to jail. Next up was Philanese Floyd, who's the brother of George Floyd. He's going to talk a little bit about George Floyd and how great an athlete he was, which is part of the reason why he lasted as long as he did. Because a lot of people talk about, if he hadn't taken drugs, he would have been okay because of drugs. No, he was an exceptional athlete. He played all sports. That's why he's 45, 46, with a body that's chiseled, dumbass. He didn't have the guts. What are you talking about? You could look at him. You could look at him and see he was in good shape. He played ball. At 45 and 46, he still played football. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing, Mr. 45-year-old jackass on Twitter and Facebook making comments about George Floyd's physical health? What the fuck are you doing, man? Huh? Doing this, drinking Coors Light, bitch, it ain't exactly working out, okay? Eating pizza ain't exactly getting it in. Eating hot pizza is too hot and burning the roof of your mouth ain't exactly the type of burn that George Floyd was feeling in the gym, okay? These people, man.
I'm going to offer Exhibit 287.
Any objection? 287 is received.
And permission to publish. All right. You indicated that your brother was number 5. Is that on the far left?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And South Florida, was that a community college?
South Florida was a community college. I'm looking at it. I noticed a whole bunch of the ball players because I met a lot of them coming up.
Did George Floyd maintain his level of fitness and love of basketball throughout his life?
Yes, sir. He loved to work out. He loved playing basketball. He loved teaching people the game of basketball. That's, to me, where I really learned how to play from him, because he guided a lot of guys on the court and showed them what they need to do to be better.
And
his testimony was very emotional. I'm not going to play a lot of that, but I will play this where George Floyd, stories of George Floyd and his mom's relationship. I know we had conversation about him calling for his mom. We saw that. So Philanese Floyd is going to talk about his brother's love for his mom and then her sudden death and how George reacted to that, which kind of sent George into a tailspin.
We called him Perry instead of George. And he would always say, hold on, let me kiss mama before I come over there. Being around him, he showed us like how to treat our mom and how to respect our mom. He loved her so dearly. And when George, he had found out that my mom was passing because she had to stay with us for hospice, and he was talking to her over the phone, but she perished before he even came down here. So that right there, it hurt him a lot. And when we went to the funeral, it's just, George just sat there at the casket over and over again. He would just say, mama, mama, over and over again. And I didn't know what to tell him because I was in pain too. We all were hurting. And he was just kissing her and just kissing her. He didn't want to leave the casket. And everybody was like, come on, it's gonna be okay. But it was just difficult because I don't know who can take that when you watch your mother, somebody who loved and cherished you and nourished you for your entire life, and then they have to leave you. We all have to go through it, but it's difficult. And George, he was just in pain the entire time.
Sir, you indicated your mother passed away May 30, that was 2018, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you described seeing your brother George at the funeral, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And was around the time of your mother's passing the last time you saw your brother George Floyd in person alive?
Yes, sir.
One thing the defense did right was not do a cross-examination on Philanese Floyd, because that would have been bad for him. It was just more humanized George Floyd. He'd have been more of a person. And we can't have that, because our job is to get this scumbag killer cop off, off on these charges. We can't have the person he killed seen as a human being with layers. Can't have that. Next and last witness was Dr. Seth Wayne Stoughton, associate professor and a law professor. And his analysis, this law professor, is the law. What's legal, what's not legal. What standards there are, what standards there aren't. If something goes against the standards or against the legal framework. Here he's going to talk about unreasonable force based on national standards.
Officer Tao did not interpose himself between the bystanders and the other officers until more than 6 minutes into the prone restraint period. His communications with the crowd were, as discussed, when individual bystanders stepped into the street and were directed back up onto the curb. With one exception, they did so within a few seconds without any type of physical contact. When there was physical contact between Officer Tao and one of the bystanders who looked like an older child or a young boy, that bystander was swiftly grabbed and pulled away by another one of the bystanders.
Now, did you see the defendant interact with or in the area of any of the bystanders after the restraint period was over?
After the restraint period was over, yes, the defendant left the position where he had been during the restraint and walked back, I believe, to his squad, the police vehicle, walking by several of the bystanders, not really interacting with them, but just walking by them or near them. And then once in his vehicle, he interacted with, I believe, the same bystander we had discussed earlier, Charles McMillan, apologies.
And do you recall, in reviewing this matter, reviewing a statement that the defendant made to Charles McMillan explaining his use of force upon Mr. Floyd to Mr. McMillan?
Yes, I do.
Do you recall what the defendant's explanation for his force level was?
So this, of course, will not be an exact quotation, but it was something akin to describing Mr. Floyd as a pretty big guy, possibly under the influence or on drugs, and that officers needed to keep control over him.
Okay. And what is your assessment of this explanation? Does it justify the level of force based on the defendant's explanation to Mr. McMillan that was used on Mr. Floyd that day?
All of those individual statements are true. Mr. Floyd was a large individual, and there was, as we've discussed, ample reason to suggest to a reasonable officer that he may be impaired by alcohol or drugs. But no, officers in this situation, and a reasonable officer would have perceived in this situation, that they could maintain control of him without putting a knee on his neck or keeping him in that prone position.
Is there a national recognized standard for police officers with respect to the duty to render aid and preserve life?
Yes, it has long and rather loudly been said that the sanctity of human life is the highest priority in policing. That's absolutely generally accepted in policing.
And what does that include? What does that mean in practice?
It has a couple of different implications, one of which regard to the use of force itself, the second of which is the duty to assist or render aid to the extent that the officer has the ability and equipment to do so when individuals are in medical distress.
What if the officer doesn't believe the person who's reporting to be in medical distress?
Officers are not paramedics, they're not EMTs, they're not medical diagnosticians, they're not doctors. The person may be lying, but officers have a duty to respond to the situation as it appears. They cannot take for granted, just because some people lie to the police about medical distress, that everyone they are interacting with, or that any one in particular person they are interacting with, is lying about being in medical distress. You have to take that seriously.
And what facts and circumstances does a reasonable officer take into account when determining whether or not they should render medical aid?
A whole range of factors. What someone is saying, how they are saying it, observations by other people. In this case, in the clips, you hear bystanders identifying that Mr. Floyd is not responsive, for example, or may not be breathing. So whether the reasonable officer is really paying close attention to Mr. Floyd, or whether the reasonable officer is really paying closer attention to the crowd, the point is the same. The evidence is suggesting that there is medical distress here. Of course, you also look at the individual's behavior. So in this case, you can not only hear Mr. Floyd saying that he can't breathe, but you hear the change in his voice, as we discussed. You hear him stop talking. You see him stop moving. And the reasonable officer here would have been aware that at one point he no longer had a pulse. All of those individually are indicators of medical distress, and as you look at them comprehensively in order, it's signs of increasing medical distress.
Okay. Couple quick things here. The bystanders were no threat, so I appreciate this law professor putting that out. It's no threat. They didn't do anything. One of the kids got too close, and child told him to get back, pushed him, and then another kid grabbed him and made him get back, and he went back in the store. That was the old scary crowd thing. That's what it consisted of. That one teenager. And it was so dangerous for the cops that no cops called for backup, and no cops pulled out a weapon or mace or anything. That was it. One officer, Tao, controlled the 12 people, who mostly stayed on the curb. Chauvin talked with McMillan, and this is important, guys. I want people to hear this. McMillan is he was the older black gentleman who testified. He was there with Floyd almost the entire time, talking to Floyd. He couldn't see what was going on behind the truck. He thought Floyd could get up. So he may be the one that you would call saying, just get up, man. Do what they say. Get up and get in the truck, man. He couldn't see that other officers were laying on Floyd. He didn't know that. He couldn't see around the truck. So that's Mr. McMillan. So after all of this is done, Floyd is dead. He's in the ambulance. Ambulance is gone. Chauvin is walking to his car. He sees McMillan. McMillan recognizes Chauvin because Chauvin patrols in the community. Chauvin gets in the car, and McMillan asks him, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Did you have to do this? You're supposed to go home safe, but we're supposed to go home safe too. And Chauvin said, well, look, Floyd was a big guy. We had to keep him under control. We had to keep that level of force because he was too big. And I just want to say something to that. Big guys want to live too. You know? You don't get to kill big guys. We want to live too, bitch. Like, you don't get to kill us because we're bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to, my whole life I had to listen to this. Oh, Tim, you're dark skinned, you're scary. Oh, Tim, you're 6 foot. Oh my God, I've never seen anybody 6 foot before. I mean, I'm not even Shaq size. I just imagine what guys who are like 6'4", 6'5" go through. But people just assume you are like, unga bonga bonga. I'm gonna bite the heads off the kids and take the women and take them to the cave, and I'm going to destroy them, kill their men in the streets, and ongo, bongo, bong. Like, no. Big people, they have every right to live just as well as you puny little short people and you skinny people that weigh nothing, okay? Being petite doesn't make you a better person. Probably a lot of serial killers were slim too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the terrorists, the mass shooters, seem to be skinny people. It doesn't take a lot of brawn to do this, does it? Or this. So, I think I speak for all us big people. We like to live too, particularly us black people. Because very few things are more intimidating to the world than big, black, and scary. Tall, dark, and scary. Now, this part I had to laugh, man. I know he's a law professor and he's all about the books, but I gotta laugh, man. The police motto of sanctity to preserve human life. What? Come on, man. Sell that shit to someone else. That's right up there with freedom. Freedom. Judging people by their character. Duty to assist and render aid. A duty to render aid. Cops got that. They got a duty to render aid. A duty to go on the Rite Aid and get some phone numbers and get free donuts. Some cops, look, guys, it's not like some cops don't do great things. It's not like some cops aren't good cops. And when we get one like that, thank God we got a good cop. Man, you are amazing. We love you. I want to encourage all good cops to continue to be good cops. I'm not talking about good cops. I'm talking about killer cops, corrupt cops. A person may be lying, but doesn't mean you get to dismiss their distress because you don't know. What are you, a lie detector cop? And the last point he made was so, spot on. He says, because the defense wanted to float this idea. Well, Chauvin would have helped Floyd, but he was so distracted by the crowd. So let me get this right. Chauvin was not paying attention to the man that he was physically touching for almost 10 minutes. He wasn't paying attention to him no longer talking or moving or breathing. And wasn't paying attention when his fellow officers said, this guy no longer has a pulse. No, he was too busy focused on the crowd, right? Okay. What was the crowd saying that he was focused on? Because you say he wasn't focused on Floyd. He wasn't focused on his other officers. He was focused on the crowd. The crowd just kept saying, hey, this man, you're killing him. He's not breathing. He's not moving. He's unresponsive. Hey, what you're doing could kill him. He's not breathing. He's not moving. He's unresponsive. That's what they kept saying. So I'm trying to understand, like, what he was paying attention to. If you can't feel a person stop moving under you, and we know he stopped moving, because 3 minutes before the ambulance came, Floyd was technically dead. He's sitting on top of a dead man who's not moving. People don't move after they're dead, Johnson. If you're touching someone and they were moving, then they stop moving, it's kind of easy to tell, hey, this guy's no longer moving. We're talking 10 minutes almost. 9.5 minutes is a long time to physically touch a person who was initially moving and then stopped moving. And now you want us to believe, oh, you don't even notice that. Now your sense of touch doesn't exist. You can't hear what's right here. You hear better what's on the sidewalk, and you don't hear them saying, hey, that guy's dying. Hey, I think you just killed that guy. Last clip, thank God. Here goes the last clip, guys. Doctor's gonna stick the dagger in and turn it.
reached regarding the use of force by the defendant on Mr. Floyd. So I'll ask you first, you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of professional certainty as to whether the type of force used by the defendant on George Floyd on May 25, 2020 constituted deadly force.
I do, yes.
And what is that opinion?
That it did. The use of force had the foreseeable effect and a substantial likelihood of resulting in death or great bodily harm.
Do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of professional certainty as to whether the type of force used by the defendant on George Floyd on May 25, 2020 was reasonable as viewed by a reasonable police officer on the scene?
I do have such an opinion, yes.
What is that opinion?
Both the knee across Mr. Floyd's neck and the prone restraint were unreasonable, excessive, and contrary to generally accepted police practices.
When, in your opinion, did the unreasonable force begin?
When Mr. Floyd was initially put into the prone restraint position and when the defendant's knee was placed onto his neck.
And when did it end?
When the defendant's knee was lifted off of Mr. Floyd and he was taken out of the prone restraint position.
Do you have an opinion to a degree of reasonable professional certainty as to whether defendant's use of force whereby he restrained Mr. Floyd in that prone position for 9 minutes and 29 seconds on May 25, 2020 was reasonable as viewed by a reasonable police officer on the scene?
Yes.
And what is that opinion?
No reasonable officer would have believed that that was an appropriate, acceptable, or reasonable use of force.
And was the force was the force unreasonable as it started and as it ended?
From the time it was initiated and throughout its duration, yes.
And finally, do you have an opinion to a degree of reasonable professional certainty as to whether the defendant appropriately rendered medical aid to Mr. George Floyd on May 25, 2020 in accordance with generally accepted police practices?
I do, yes.
And what is that opinion?
The failure to render aid to Mr. Floyd, both by taking him out of the prone position and by rendering aid as his increasing medical distress became obvious, was unreasonable and contrary to generally accepted police practices.
Right. Thank you very much, Professor Stoughton. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
It was important to hear what he said as well. The lawyer said there was a foreseeable effect. Yeah, he should have known. You could see that what you were doing could cause death or great bodily harm. So you're saying that Chauvin should be no surprise he killed a guy. What he did kills people. Could kill people, and it's pretty obvious. Not rocket science. The knee was unreasonable, so was the prone position. Not just that it went on so long, that it took place at all. No reasonable officer would agree with Chauvin's actions. And the fact that Chauvin gave Floyd no aid whatsoever, no medical aid whatsoever, even after they said he no longer has a pulse, unacceptable. Then Johnson, that's all. That's nothing else to say about it. That should be the end of the game. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to continue to follow the case as we go to the defense. I think there's one more day, or there may be no more days. I don't know who else the prosecution could possibly call. I mean, I just feel like if the jury's going, I don't know what to think. I ain't been in, I don't know. I mean, short of Jesus coming on the stand or Trump, I don't know what else they could do. Maybe call in Trump. This is evil on both sides. There was cops on both sides. I don't know. I mean, if they're idiots, man, they're idiots. I don't know where else you go with it. All right, guys, that's it. I'm Real Tim Black. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter. I'm on Tim Black at Night on Instagram, Tim Black at Night. Follow the show. Become a member if you enjoy the show. Tough days, tough nights. My respect to anyone who realizes this is important. I'm going to be putting out a free, some free information about George Floyd soon. For anybody who didn't want to stomach it but wanted to know a little bit more and have it really concise. Other than that, I'm going to call it a wrap. You know, tomorrow is Freedom Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, people call up to the show and they talk about whatever issue, whatever concerns them, whatever news item they want the world to know about, or just get their comments on the news and what's going on in the world. We do that here, Tuesdays, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do our best to be here at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Hope you can join us for that. Yes, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Go to jointimblack.com, jointimblack.com. And with that, guys, what a night. What a night, fellas. What a night, Johnsons. What a night, ladies. I made it. Oh, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, man. But I got to see it through. I got to see it through. It was like the least I could do. All right, let's go to Super Chats. What up, people? I have comments. Comments. Facebook, how y'all doing? Facebook people, defund the police. Share the stream. Letitia Rosales and Tony Schmidt, Michael Greenberg and Brian Simmons, Rod Ramberg, Leonard Liff, Ajamu Collins, Ronald Blake, Cortez Banner, Crystal McDonald, or Crystal McDonald, Joy Bunton and Willie Shanes, and Alicia, and Bruce, and Jimmy, and Michael, and Heather, and Adam, and Dolores, and Jimmy, and Dolores, and Lydia, and Joy, and Bright, and Keith, and Joy. Thank you for sharing the show, guys. I appreciate you. Bianca Brown, please stop responding to the trolls. Who's responding to the trolls? Oh, we don't have a moderator in here? Okay. So we're gonna fix that, guys. I'm sorry. YouTube, hang tight on the we're gonna get them. Let's get them out. I'm looking for trolls. I'm trying to look for them. I don't see them. Julia Black, Ashley, Tadashi Davis. They look all good. Maybe the trolls are gone. Maybe the trolls got kicked out. We need more help on Facebook, right? That's what we need, right? Well, I want to thank you guys for putting up with the trolls. That's horrible, man. Why they just can't go to their Tommy Lawrence stream or something? I mean, why don't they just go watch Tommy Lawrence? I'm sure she's saying what they wanted to say. Why don't you just go over there? Just go over there. Asshole, go to Tommy Lawrence. I know that's what you want to hear, some nonsense airhead. Talk really fast like Ben Shapiro. Go over there. Why come here? Okay. Oh, I screwed up. I didn't put the thing. Wendy Gonzalez into his house. Hey, Tim, I know this is hard, but I'd rather be here with you than any other lefty. No, that's not hard. Thank you. Thank you, Johnson. I appreciate you. I'm glad somebody feels that way because I try to work my ass off, man. So thank you, Wendy, for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to go to the calendar. That way I can kind of be sure not to miss anybody, I hope. Ty Savage. It's the culture of police, not just a few bad apples. I thank you, Ty, and I believe it. Roger Meadows says, sardines have the highest concentration of omega-3s. Brazil nuts, good for libido. Blueberries, antioxidants. Concern for health, try Brazil nut butter. Blueberry jam and sardines in a sandwich of fiber-rich bread. Booyaka. Roger dropping the knowledge. Trying to keep us all healthy. Kira Thomas says, thanks for the content as always and keeping us informed, Johnson. Well, thank you for the kind donation and the kind words, Kira Thomas. John Wah says, I don't know if I'm going to read that, man. I don't think I'm going to read that. We can refund you, John. Weedy Gonzalez. Oh, it's Weedy, not Wendy. Weedy says, hey, Tim, I noticed. Oh, she already said it. Thank you, Weedy. Super chat, K-Mac, the great. Appreciate what you do, Tim. All right. Thank you, K-Mac. Guy comes on the show and says, I'm going to spend $10 to help a big YouTuber get a bigger name. Thanks a lot, man, but no thanks. Roger Meadow says, Tim, remember 2 years ago when the AMC constituent called your show expressing disappointment at AMC ignoring Willie being seen in the district? Yeah, that's not the only person I'm talking about, though. There were people complaining about AOC who ran the same time she ran. There's a lot of stuff people don't know, man. Tony G says, I'm glad you realized, as I have in the past year, that the squad are disappointing. Hey, Tony D. It is what it is, man. AOC said migrants suffering at the border deserve reparations, but was dodgy and cagey on the same for blacks, with lineage going back to slavery and Jim Crow. Oh, God. Dog. That would be a reason for a lot of people not to like it. Vanita Vanaba. We may not always agree, Tim, but you keep fighting. I'm going to. You do you. Fight for what you believe, right? David L. Minnesota's looking for some payback after the 3rd precinct got his ass kicked. That's why they cranked up the military presence. Dave L., thank you, brother, for that insight. Damn. Dave Melford says, there's a new Sirius XM channel, 126 Urban View. We need Tim Black on that channel. That's a screen call-in show as well. There's a screen call-in show. What? And unfortunately, I was told I'm not the caliber of Sirius XM. We don't know. I guess they want people who don't have a following, who haven't done this for 10 years and made a living out of it somehow. They want somebody they could just install who, you know. It is what it is, man. There's nothing I could do. I just keep trying to build my own thing up and work with folks and grow the wolf pack. Plus, we all know what would be my side job. All right. Well, you know, I do believe that a lot of people are just misinformed, Johnson. And I think they need to be more informed. There's some evil people too, don't get me wrong. But there's some misinformed people as well. All right, guys, that's all I got. David Melford. Yeah, that's a great comment, man. Thank you, David, for thinking of me, man. I appreciate you. K-Mac, appreciate what you do, Tim. I appreciate you, K-Mac, the great. I really do, man. We just keep going, right? Just keep going. Just keep rocking it, man. I'm going to do my best to amplify what we have going on here and the message, and particularly the George Floyd coverage. I'm going to get it out there, guys. Shout out to La La Cha Cha, Diana M16, Nat A, Chrissy B Talking, all the Tim Black Wolfpack members, all my moderators, Sign of the Times, Sally Thompson's in the house, Skylistic, my New York City girl, Kelly M, Douglas Kalawinski, Afraid Not, Nigel Kid Perez, out of here, trolls. Susan Bradley Scove. Man, you guys keep me rolling, man. Schultze 100, whole crew, all the Tim Black Wolfpack in the house, Anthony Lamont, What's going on, Barbara? Cheryl Van Epps. We carry signs once again. Mary Warren, Weedy Gonzalez, Mike Walker. Buddy, what up, buddy? Yeah, K to the Shy in the house. Been a minute, K to the Shy. La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha cha. Hey, man, it's good stuff. That's one way to keep your exercise up. Low impact, little dancer, little cha cha. David Pelton. What's up? Natasha LaDuke. Hope I got most of everybody, man. I'm sorry if I missed you. I'm trying to make sure I get my... See, the green stands out. That's why everybody watching needs to be a member of the 10 Black Wolfpack. Come on now, the green stands out. And you get the emoticons. It's only $5 a month. It's 1 cup of coffee a month. I'm worth a cup of coffee a month. Let's grow up. Let's grow it. Tony H, what's up? I was loud. Pappy, Unga Bunga. It's all good. That was so early. Those people probably gone now. That's so early into the game. Nick said, Tony H, Trap Squad taking over. Don't Blink was impressed with his testimony. He was like other prosecutors that were... I was impressed with his testimony. He, like other prosecution expert witnesses, doesn't allow the defense to use exaggerated scenarios that are not related to this case to be agreed. Weedy Gonzalez in the house. Look at that. Look at that, man. What? That's what's up, Weedy. I appreciate you, Weedy Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? That's respect, man. That's respect. Take a chance with us. You know, you can always leave if I piss you off too badly. I don't think I will, though, man, because I'm always going to speak my truth. And you're going to know, you'll be like, I think he's sincere. People will tell you, like, I don't agree with Tim all the time, but he's got guts to be disagreed with sometimes. That's like if, how can somebody really be truthful with you if you never disagree with them? I'm just wondering. Because I love Mrs. Black, but sometimes I disagree with her. And sometimes she disagrees with me. And I love her. So how can somebody be honest with you if you never disagree with them? Ever. I think that's crazy talk. So, like, dishonesty would be a reason, right? Like I tell people, man, I'm an optimistic person. I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. Evidenced by my past people that I was close, that I had in my circle, kind of, that I'm no longer kicking it with. Because I gave them the benefit of the doubt. But then when the benefit of the doubt turns wrong, what do? I course correct. I thought that's what you said. No, that's what I do. People do what else they want to do. But yeah, man, sometimes we're going to disagree, but I'm never, I tell people like Nina Turner, that's a person who I think has a lot of promise, and I'm rooting for her big time. I want to support her candidacy. I don't want my feelings about other people to be rubbed off onto her. Everybody gets to rise or fall on their own steam. It's not fair to go, hey, I'm mad at AOC, so therefore, this person who's never been in Congress, I'm just going to blanket them and paint them with the same brush. Nah, man. If there's something about me you don't like, at least let it be about me. If something I do that piss you off, at least let it be about me. Don't let your actions with any other commentator be the reason why you dog me. You know what I'm saying? So, as it stands, I'm getting short on who I can feel good about. You know, it is what it is. I got a new member, y'all. New member in the house. Somebody else showed up. Somebody showed up. Let me get down here. Vanita Vanderbeer. Vanita Vanderbeer's in the house. Welcome to the Wolfpack, Vanita. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Once again, it's just 1 cup of coffee a month. If you like what I'm doing, keep it going. If you don't, I get it. But I'm going to do my best to do my job the right way and to grow this community and keep it going, guys, right? Is that, you know what I'm saying? That's all we try to do. Because I know, I look at it like this. Things are, it's discouraging what's happening, right? We all feel discouraged and frustrated. The only problem is if we give up, it doesn't help anything. That's the thing. Like, there's people going, I give up. I'm like, okay. What does it change if you give up? If we write our Congress people, if we contact our Congress people. I mean, guys, I make noise out there. Do you understand that? I got a tweet I sent out today. It reached like over 100,000 people today. I'm not saying that's everything. But as a voice for the 10 Black Wolfpack, sometimes when I speak on things, it gets a little bit of legs. People hear about it. We have an impact on decision makers. We also need to work on how to make an impact individually as a group, locally as well. Like, there's other ways, but I'm just saying. For instance, I commented today on what happened with Deontay Wright. And it hit a lot of people's faces, like a lot of people. Over 100,000 people were impacted by my statement. So it matters. It's not like what we're doing doesn't matter at all. I want us to matter more, and I'm going to keep working on it, man. I'm going to keep working on it. That's my word. I will keep working on it. K-Mac the Great up in the house. What? K-Mac in the house. Welcome to the Wolfpack, K-Mac. K-Mac is in the place. Man, I appreciate you, man. So that's Vanita, K-Mac, and Weedy. Weedy Gonzalez. What? One more. So I know I'm pushing it. But sometimes you got to push it, because if you don't push it, you don't get it, man. The squeaky oil, oh, damn. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? You know what I'm saying? But one thing I see, man, is sometimes people are afraid to be disagreed with. And it's hard not to get that way. Because if you make a wrong comment, people get emotionally pissed off with you. And they do all types of stuff. But I'm just saying that sometimes you got to take that chance if you really believe it. Just explain. What I try to do is explain why I feel the way I feel. But I've seen some people go the other way. They're like really so cautious. They like walk on eggshells with their own community. I'm like, what? I don't want to get that way. I want us to be able to talk. You know? So that's what I try to do. Well, look. Ty Savage, thank you, my brother. All the new members of the 10 Black Wolfpack, K-Mac, let me write this down. K-Mac, Vanita, and Weedy. Here's to you. Here's to you, Johnsons. Thank you for joining the Wolfpack tonight. It's a grateful Monday. And I appreciate you guys for being here. I see you tomorrow. Anybody call into the show if you want to call into the show tomorrow. It'd be a good time to do it. Be a good time to do it. Oh, man, did somebody? Scoutlistic. Man, what's up, man? Scout. Man, dude, Scoutlistic, I didn't even realize you weren't a member, dog. Give it up for Scoutlistic. He's been around for a long time, man. Scoutlistic been rocking with me for a long time, so that's amazing. Scoutlistic's number 4. This is a big night. One of our biggest nights. I think 4 is the biggest night we've had so far at one time. 4 new members of the 10 Black Wolfpack. Thank you for joining, guys. I'm going to make some new... Man, you've inspired me. I'm going to get some help. I got little graphic skills, but I don't got the best graphic skills. I want to make some more emoticons, some more emojis, just for us. So send ideas for emoticons and emojis so I can make some new-ish to make life even more interesting around here. I want to show my appreciation. And Thank you for supporting this show. Because this show ain't going to happen without you guys. There's no way this show gets done without you. Miss Black likes to live indoors. So without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do the show. Jason Run 2. Jason Run 2 up in here. Jason Run 2. Hold on, man. And Tyler. What? Jason Run 2. I got to write this down. Jason Run 2 and Tyler. That is crazy, Johnson. That's crazy. That's crazy. Welcome to the Wolfpack, Tyler. Welcome to the Wolfpack, Jason. You know what's crazy? Mrs. Black. She was like, Tim, I got a message from Kay. Sign of the Times said, you miss these people on the shout-outs. Actually, I was told Friday or Saturday. So Mrs. Black printed it for me and brought it downstairs just before I started the show and said, please don't forget to shout these people out. It said Super Chats on Friday. So she printed it out. So it's Miss Super Chats, and one of the names was Tyler Pfaff. And what happens? I shout out Tyler Pfaff. He joins the Wolfpack. Man, that's amazing, man. I appreciate you, Tyler. And if I ever miss now, there's some things I skip, like when people are just, hey, go see this other guy's show. I can't do that. But if I ever miss your super chat, please let us know. It's never intentional. And if it is intentional, I'll tell you, and we can refund you or something. I want to thank the new members of the Wolfpack tonight, K-Mac, Vanita, Weedy, Skylistic, Jason, and Tyler, man. Once again, it's amazing. Damn. We don't need no serious. We got the Wolfpack. All right, guys, tomorrow, call-in show, more voices than just mine. This ain't just about me. Let the Wolfpack speak. Do your thing, Wolfpack. Be here at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe we'll have some new coverage. And update me on some of the stuff that I've been missing, trying to do double duty of George Floyd case plus other news. I know there's other things going on. What's going on with Iran? What's going on with Iran? Somebody call up and update the community about Iran. Okay? Can we get somebody to do that? All right, now. I'm out, guys. I'll see you soon. Be safe. Hit me up. You can also email us. You can also email us at clientcare@10blacktv.com. Sometimes when people email me directly, I get so much mail because I've had that mailbox for, 8 years. I got a lot of spam, a lot of junk. So when it goes to client care, 2 people get it. I get it, and K-Love gets it. And then K-Love kind of reminds me, hey, you got this message. So it really helps when I get help on the mailbox. So that's why I say, email K-Love, email clientcare@10blacktv.com. Because I miss stuff. Just like I miss Super Chats on accident. All right. We good? We good? We good, Facebook? We okay? Number love, Johnsons. Number love, Mike. Mike, thanks for holding it down, man. Gladys, thank you, Gladys. Julia, Linda, thank you. Appreciate you. Respect. Bye, Johnson. I'm out. Y'all make me not want to go. Let me ask you. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.